never believed farms were scary. Until I spent one night alone on my uncle's land. I agreed to watch his farm for the weekend while he visited family out of state. Easy job. Feed the animals, lock the barn at night, make sure nothing breaks. I grew up around farms. Nothing about it felt strange. At least, not at first. The farm was isolated. No neighbors, no streetlights. Just miles of open land and cornfields. By 9 p.m., the sun was gone. The kind of darkness where your headlights feel useless. I finished feeding the animals and locked the barn like I was told. Everything was normal. Then, around 11:30 p.m., I heard it. A metal clang. Not loud, not sudden. Slow, like something had gently hit the barn door. I froze. Wind, maybe, I thought. But the air was dead still. I grabbed my flashlight and stepped outside. The barn stood about 40 meters away, barely visible under the moonlight. That's when I saw it. The barn door was open. I clearly remembered locking it. I walked toward it, telling myself it was just old hinges. The smell hit me first. Warm, animal-like, but wrong. The flashlight beam shook as I scanned the inside. The animals were silent. Too silent. Then I noticed something that made my stomach drop. The hay on the ground had footprints in it. Not boots, bare feet, large ones. Leading from the door, into the darkness behind the stalls. I whispered, "Hello?" No answer. But I heard breathing. Slow. Controlled. Not an animal. I backed up slowly, heart pounding. That's when I heard a voice, right behind me. Low. Calm. "Don't turn around." I froze. My body wouldn't move. The voice didn't sound angry or threatening. It sounded patient, like it had been waiting. I felt breath on the back of my neck. Not warm, not cold. Just there. Then it whispered again. "You're not supposed to be here tonight." I don't remember deciding to run. My body just did. I bolted out of the barn, tripped, slammed into the dirt, and didn't stop running until I reached the house. I locked every door, turned on every light, and sat there shaking until sunrise. When daylight came, I went back to the barn with a metal rod in my hand. Everything looked normal. No footprints, no open doors, no signs of anyone inside, except for one thing. On the inside of the barn door, a message scratched into the wood. Deep, uneven, like it was carved with fingernails. It said, "You left too soon." When my uncle came back, I told him everything. He went silent. Then he said something I still think about. He told me that years ago, a farmhand went missing on that land. They found his clothes in the barn, but never his body. And ever since then, animals sometimes refuse to enter the barn at night. And people claim they heard someone walking around after midnight, breathing, waiting. I never stayed on that farm again. But sometimes, when I drive past open fields late at night, I swear I see someone standing near old barns. This happened about 4 years ago. I was living on my grandfather's farm in rural Iowa while he was recovering from surgery. It was just me, the house, the barn, and miles of cornfields in every direction. No neighbors, no streetlights, no cell signal unless you stood in one specific spot near the barn. During the day, everything felt normal. At night, it felt different, the kind of quiet that presses against your ears. The first strange thing happened on my third night. I was in bed around 11:40 p.m. when I heard it. Corn moving, not wind, footsteps, slow, careful steps moving through the field. I sat up, listening. The sound stopped, then started again, Closer. I told myself it was a deer, or maybe raccoons. But something felt off. Animals don't move like that. The next night, I saw a light. It was around 12:30 a.m. I looked out the kitchen window and saw a faint glow deep in the cornfield. Not a flashlight, not a car. Just a soft, yellow light, standing perfectly still. It disappeared after a few seconds. I didn't tell anyone. I should have. 2 nights later, I heard the barn door open. I know the sound well. Old metal hinges, long screech. I grabbed a flashlight and walked out. The air was cold, dead silent. The barn door was open, wide open. Inside, the animals were standing completely still. No movement, no sound. That's when I noticed something that made my stomach drop. The hay on the floor had been disturbed. Not hooves, footprints, bare feet, large, too large, and they led behind the stalls. I raised my flashlight. The beam shook. That's when I heard it. A whisper, right behind the wooden wall. "Don't come closer." It didn't sound angry. It sounded calm, like a warning. I backed out of the barn slowly and shut the door. I didn't sleep that night. The next night, I saw it again. This time it wasn't a light. It was a figure, standing at the edge of the cornfield. Tall, too tall, not moving, just watching the house. I stood frozen at the window. After a minute, it stepped back into the corn and vanished. That same night, around 3 a.m., I heard footsteps outside my bedroom window. Slow, dragging, then scratching. Not on the glass, on the wall, like someone was feeling their way around the house. I stayed completely still. It didn't breathe, didn't move. After a minute, it stopped. Then I heard it walk away, toward the barn. The next morning, I found something carved into the barn door. Deep scratches. 3 words. "You were asleep." I felt sick. I packed my things immediately. But before I could leave, my grandfather called. I told him everything. He went quiet, then said something I'll never forget. He told me the farm used to belong to another family. Years ago, their son disappeared. They found his clothes in the cornfield. No body. After that, workers refused to stay overnight. People claimed they saw someone standing in the crops at night, watching, waiting. He told me, "Whatever it is, it doesn't leave the land." I stayed one last night. Bad decision. At 2:17 a.m., I heard breathing in the hallway. Slow, controlled, right outside my door. Then a voice. "You shouldn't have stayed." I didn't open the door. I didn't move. Eventually, the footsteps walked away. Toward the cornfield, I left the farm at sunrise. Never went back. Months later, I searched the property online. The farm was listed as abandoned. No explanation, no photos. Just one comment on a local forum. "If you hear something in the corn at night, don't go looking. It already knows where you are."